Ladies and gentlemen, this is Miss Kenda Qualman. If you don't know the name, you know it now, and I hope you continue to pay attention to it. But before we get into it, Miss Kenda, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. It's been kind of a long day for you.
It's been a long day. But hey, we here today.
Yeah.
I'm with you. We moving and grooving.
Absolutely. You're an entrepreneur, especially the caliber of entrepreneur that you are. you don't really get too much chill, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially right now, because you got a lot going on.
Yeah.
So it's grind time. And we hope that you find your breaks here and there. So Miss Kenda has her own business, and we're going to talk about that right now. It's called Beauty Sleep. She just launched a podcast, which is really, really exciting. It was quite a bit of a process to make it happen.
Yeah.
But, definitely, it's going on episode 2 already. And then also, she has an event that she put together that it isn't just about her growth, but it's about helping others create their own opportunities to grow. And so we're going to talk about that in just a second as well. But first, let's talk about Beauty Sleep. How long you been doing Beauty Sleep?
It's going on 3 years.
3 years. Oh, that's good timing right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, they say a lot of businesses fail like within the first 2 years or the first year, this, that, and the other. So you've been going strong.
Yeah.
And from my understanding, it was something that you kind of like, it's your thing, but you started out like with your family. Like it was a lot of support from, like, was it your mother and your daughter?
Well, we were actually, it's funny. We went to the Dells for my mom's birthday one year, and we were just all laying around in our regular T-shirts and stuff. And then we just were like, none of us have pajamas.
Yeah, light bulb moment.
Yeah, and it was like, why? Why don't we? And then it was like, because they're ugly everywhere. Like, we just don't find any cute pajamas. So then we just start brainstorming, and Beauty Sleep was born. So I'm actually still in partnership with my mom and my sister. I just kind of took on like the marketing piece more and the advertising piece.
That's major. 3 years later, from a Wisconsin Dells trip where you didn't have pajamas.
Where we didn't have pajamas, right?
Like that, it'd be like that. You know what I'm saying? Like ideas just come to us. I'm like, not only could we create like some cute stuff and some comfortable stuff, or, appealing things, but we could turn this into a business.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's how God works. And so, did you know before that, you know what I mean, that you were meant to be an entrepreneur and start what me and you are at least calling this type of spiritual journey?
Ooh, that's a good question. I knew it, yes. I was actually raised by entrepreneurs. My mom and my dad had a commercial cleaning business growing up. So we were working at 12 years old for the family business, me and my siblings. And my dad just kind of instilled in us, and my mom instilled in us, hey, work for yourself. And my dad always said, work smarter, not harder.
Yeah. Well, there's two sides of that coin.
It is.
On one side, you know what I mean, you're lucky, you know what I mean, and privileged to have seen entrepreneurship and to have had that instilled in you, because it was like until my stepdad used to always say, you got to have a job, you got to get a job, you know what I mean, what you going to do about Social Security, you know what I'm saying, and all these type of things.
Benefits.
And it's like, it took him a while. Like, he didn't really accept that I was going to be my own boss until I was like 30-something years old. And then he changed it up. Like, well, since you're going to do that, make sure you cross your T's and dot your I's and, start giving me different advice.
Look at that.
But the point is, I think a lot of people from before our generation, that's just what they were taught, get a good job, maybe go to school, you know what I'm saying, if it's affordable for you, this, that, and the other. And so, but now our children and our grandchildren are really going to understand entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And we've always been entrepreneurs, you know what I mean? It's always been our thing. We needed something, we created something, and somebody came along and stole it. But it was always been there, but we've been so blind to our own history of creating and pioneering. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So the other side of that coin is that it was against the law for y'all to be working at 12.
Man, they was pulling us left and right to them accounts, cleaning up car dealerships, banks, all that stuff. Yeah.
But good lessons, great lessons. So Beauty Sleep, how would you describe what your business offers?
My business offers quality sleepwear, cute sleepwear, trendy sleepwear. It can be for yourself. It can be a really nice gift. It really just, it's our way of saying, hey, just because you're going to sleep at night doesn't mean you got to turn your beauty down. Like, you can still look good when you go to sleep if you want to. You know, you can still have that. A lot of our stuff, too, people can do slumber parties and have, like, there's a lot of different events that women get together and they wear sleepwear.
They do.
So they can.
Can I come?
I've seen some co-ed pajama parties.
Oh, okay, yeah,
I've seen some. So
I've heard of some. I've never been to one myself. But you know, like Kendra said, something that you could, you know, like really do for you.
Yeah.
But I've seen some stuff on IG for beauty sleep. And ladies, you know, like she said, do it for you. But us men are gonna like it too. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna like you going to beauty sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might have some trouble getting to sleep.
You just might. Hey, but then that means it's working. Because you're going to be knocked after that.
Absolutely. Anything else about beauty sleep? Anything else that would describe it or why people should reach out to you and get your products?
Because we truly believe in the experience when it comes to being a consumer and having a partnership with your, with companies that you're interested in. So even as a smaller business, we really take pride in that piece. So we go above and beyond when it comes to communicating. We have different lines of communication for our customers. We drop stuff off. We give them the option to pick up. We ship. So we really try to make it convenient as well.
Absolutely.
And we try to stay on top of like the trends and stuff like that. So the sleepwear that we do have is, you'll see it consistently as far as like the type of style that we're shooting for. But, you know, making sure that it meets the eye as far as what anybody would be looking for and what we would be looking for. So we're just girls, you know, and I think that's the best part, is we're just normal girls from Milwaukee who just, you know, want to see girls live their best life. And part of that is the way you sleep. The way you sleep is also important. So,
girl power.
Yeah.
And the reality of it is, and I've always said this for years when it comes to business, I know that poverty is our enemy, and a lot of us want to be entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
But I think that it's equally as important to be an entrepreneur and to be the author of your own future as it is to serve others.
I agree.
You know, like if you're in business. And so like this might be the thing that I do to make money, but how can I make this thing an experience that serves my community? And I think that one of the ways that you're going to be able to do that and are doing that is through those communication options, making it, you know what I'm saying, more convenient for the customer, really creating a business module that's based on consumer truth or based on the customer's needs versus, this is a hustle for me and I just got to get it. No, like you're doing it the right way. You know what I'm saying? And I've had dialogue with
Thank you.
And you know, you're welcome. But you know, I've had dialogue with you, and it's just always been good conversation because a lot of the way that you think comes from a good place. You know what I'm saying? Like your parents did more than just teach you about entrepreneurship. You know what I mean? They instilled some great values in you.
Yeah.
So it's a great experience interacting with you. Now, other people are going to, like, even more people are going to get this opportunity to experience Kendra and just how good of a mind you have and a good heart that you have. And they might even get to see the part of you that's like, don't play with me too. and they're going to be able to hear this and view this through a podcast that you just started over at Tone Deaf Radio Network, TDR Network.
Yes.
And you're on episode 2.
I am.
Yeah.
Well, I just completed it. I finished it yesterday.
Completed it.
Yeah.
And I did catch a lot of it in celebration of National Best Friend Day.
Yes.
And interesting. We met on a podcast.
Yes, we did, at the same network in them same chairs.
we met. Shout out to Lachelle Hooks, who is the host and facilitator of Shine Your Light podcast.
Yes. Sending love, Lachelle.
Like, thank you so much. This has been a great connection. And she kept saying that, you know, in that meeting, this is just some forever connection.
She did.
So Shaquille Nicole was there. She's a guy was there. You were there, and I were there.
Yeah.
So it was phenomenal, and I've been connecting with all of y'all. You know
Ever
what I'm saying?
since, huh?
Like ever since. So it's definitely been amazing. And so now you've started yours called Mind Your Own podcast.
Minding my own.
Minding My Own.
Yep.
Okay, Minding My Own with Kenda.
With Kenda, yes.
With Kenda. So let's talk about that real quick.
Okay.
What is the personal motivation behind Minding My Own?
So I've always been the type of person to stay out the way. Like literally, I'm out the way. Like I have a very small group of friends, and I was in my shell for a while, just kind of doing me. And so minding my own podcast is like an outlet now. Yeah. It's like I'm still minding my business, but I'm bringing some of y'all into my world.
Right.
And so I just wanted to start something where I'm talking to real people about real issues and really just digging deep into different like ideas or perception when it comes to different topics and real things happening. So minding my own podcast just gets everybody a chance to come on and say, hey, this is how I really feel. Like when I'm in my zone, this is how I feel. Like whether you looking, whether someone else is looking, I don't care. Right. This is still how I feel about this. Right. So that's kind of what Minding My Own podcast represents for me. It's saying, hey, look, this is who I am. This is how I feel. And I'm open to listening to everybody else's opinion. But hey, this is still what I'm going to do at the end of the day.
Right. It's you expressing yourself, but it's also open forum. Everybody can have their own thoughts and own opinions. But, real change and evolution kind of happens when people are able to share those experiences, share those ideas, and get an outlook. Like it might be something that I might think somebody saying like, "Oh, that's really interesting." Oh my God, it's not for me, but that's really interesting.
Yes, and I've seen that quite a bit so far. Like we've talked about a number of things, and I'll hear somebody's point of view, and I'm like, you know what, that actually makes sense. But so does what I'm saying. Right. So I see what you mean, though. Now my mind is open. Now, like I can see that. Right. But you still stay true to your values, your beliefs, or whatever. And sometimes things might change, but for the most part. I
think a lot of times when it comes to like finding a solution to anything or even having a certain ideology or perspective, it's good to know the options, and a lot of times we have those conversations, so we learn about more options. Right. But then we still have to consider our capacity. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like even though that's great, I'm not in the capacity to really particularly take that route. You know what I'm saying? Not the way that, you took it. My path gonna be a little more